It is harvest time in my kitchen garden. In fact, every day is harvest time, right? So today we are going to be showing you what you can pull out of a really intensively planted kitchen garden every single day. So we're going to walk you through all the different parts of the kitchen garden and show you what we could harvest every single day during this particular season. I got all my tools and all my baskets. We're going to fill all these up in this video. So let's get to harvesting. You ready? Hey there, I'm Nicole Burke. I'm the owner and founder of Gardenary Incorporated. Garden plus ordinary, do you know what that equals? No. It equals Gardenary. Gardenary exists to make gardening an ordinary part of your everyday life. Whether you're a beginner gardener, are you a beginner gardener? No, she's an advanced gardener. If you're a beginner gardener, you're welcome here. If you're an advanced gardener that's ready to start helping other people as a garden coach, or if you're somewhere in between, there is something for you to learn inside Gardenary. So make sure you subscribe to the Gardenary channel. Hit that little bell up there so you get a notification every time we drop a new video. And stay tuned, because you and me, are we gonna make some videos this summer? Yeah. We're gonna make a ton of gardening videos, so hang out with us on Gardenary. Now let's dive in, let's get harvesting. What tool do you want? We got lots of fancy harvest tools here. This one, she's going for the scissors. I am gonna go for my needle nose pruners. These are my favorite. All right, the first thing that we're gonna harvest is sugar snap peas. We have a ton of them growing. So do you remember planting these with me? Yeah. We planted these in March, the middle of March. It's now the middle of June. So we're at 90 days, is that right? 36, yeah, 90 days. These things should have been done a long time ago, but it took them forever to get going. I don't know why. But we've got, these are called bush peas, so they don't go up a trellis. And then we have peas on our trellis too. So we're gonna get busy. Do you think, can you eat one? Yeah. Are you kidding? Yes, of course you can eat one. So we're gonna use pruners and cut these from the vine. You wanna use pruners just to be sure you don't end up hurting the plant as you pull your peas. So literally you're gonna come in, go right to the base of the pea, and you're gonna cut it. Do you wanna cut yours right here? All right, so we've got tons of peas to cut. You wanna see if it tastes good? It might not be any good. Is it good? All right. Oh, wow. Uh-oh. If you wanna go find more peas and harvest from them, that would be awesome. You can harvest from any peas that you see. We wanna try to get a nice little pile of them. So peas like to hide. You generally want to start at the base of the plant and work your way up. And sometimes it's kind of hard to find them. Like here's one here. You'd never know. It was hiding. And because of the way, oh see, look, here's several in here. Because of the way I trellis them, it's a little bit like playing hide and seek. The pruners are helpful because you can get in and grab it and not worry about damaging the plant. All right, so that's what came off of, oops, that's what came off of those little vines. How many did you find? 3? That's it? It's kind of like hide and seek, don't you think? Yeah. All right, are you ready for this? Yeah. This is gonna be our favorite thing to cut, and that is strawberries. These strawberries were planted a year ago. Do you remember harvesting strawberries last year? No. Well, we harvested just a few. These strawberries are perennial, which means they come back. So they endured, remember all that snow and frost we had? Yeah. The crazy thing is they endured it and came back, and now look how many berries we have. These are ever-bearing strawberries, which means they're gonna keep bearing all summer long. Never a ton, but a little bit along the way. So I can keep bringing you out here, right? Yeah. Uh-oh, did our scissors break? Yes. No worries. Now we're back together. Okay, so you know what's really cool when you harvest strawberries? What? The sun is in your eyes, isn't it? Yeah. You want to harvest the stem and the leaves, because when you do that, it's gonna keep the strawberry fresh longer. So it doesn't come like that from the grocery store, does it? Nope. But when we harvest it, we're gonna harvest the whole stem, because the berry isn't gonna, no more berries will grow from this stem, and then that way these will stay fresh longer. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, so come on in with your scissors. That is perfect. All right, do some more. Yep, nice, I love it. You're doing good. Now don't cut the whole, yeah, there you go. Up, higher, there, right there, because we might get a couple more berries off of that one stem. All right, let's move over here. All right, make sure you only cut this one, not the other strings. There you go, perfect. That one. All right, now, you did really good with those. All right, let's do these. And see, did you know that when we harvest strawberries, the red ones, all right, you're gonna come in, bring your scissors. Are you getting tired or you need help? You got it? All right. Did you know that when we harvest the red ones, it tells the plant to make more? Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
It's kind of like when y'all eat all the food that I cook and then I have to keep cooking. Another one? You are my strawberry hunter, girl. All right, the next thing we're gonna plant is not your favorite. In fact, every time I eat these things, they say that, "Pew, it smells, Mom," right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's radishes. So we have these French breakfast radishes. They're actually overdue. They should have been picked a long time ago, but we're gonna pick them because it's time to move on to something else. So let's start pulling. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, you pull and I will shake off the dirt. What do you think?
They're pretty.
They are pretty. You don't love the way they taste, but they're pretty.
I got one.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so these aren't too wide. They have started to flower, but I'm impressed they don't look too fibrous yet. Sometimes when we wait too late, they end up tasting really, really fibrous and not too delicious, although you don't really think they're delicious to begin with.
No.
But they are cute, right? So I love to pickle these radishes.
Oh, it's small.
Oh, that one is small. Have you tried my my pickled radishes?
Nope.
I don't think you have. All right, we are almost done. Keep going, girl.
One more.
Yep.
Ew. It's big.
Oh, it is big. Now that one's tiny. So for one like this, we can cook the greens. Oh, that's a nice one. Yep. And now we can clear this space and we can plant something else here, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can grow some arugula or we can grow some beans.
Yeah.
Those are pitiful, right? That's okay. You win some, you lose some. We will put these. You found another pea? Oh, good. So we're gonna harvest these purple mustards. So purple mustards. Do you like to eat purple mustards?
I haven't tried them.
So the way she likes to eat them, she doesn't even know, is she eats them as cooked greens. You know how I cook down the greens with the butter? It's good stuff. So we use these purple mustards to do that. So the way we're gonna harvest this, are you ready?
Yeah.
So we've got our pruners and we're gonna go down to the base. See how low I'm going?
Yeah.
And you're just gonna cut one leaf at a time. So see how I have that stalk? You did it perfectly. Nice. All right, and then we're gonna just grab it like it's a little bouquet and pile them in here. Now, can you tell that Mommy likes to plant her plants really close together?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to do lots of harvesting of these purple mustards this summer. Otherwise, it's gonna get too crowded in here, kind of like you and Becca in your bedroom, right? Yeah, so we gotta harvest a lot. So probably every few days we need to come in here because this is called purple giant mustard. So it's gonna get big. So you're just gonna cut one at a time, just like that. And what you don't wanna cut is the center. So when you cut the center, it's not gonna keep growing. And that's not what we want. So you're gonna come to the outside, cut the outside plants, leaves, but leave the inside. All right, let's come to this bed.
They're big.
These are bigger, right?
Yeah.
You're doing good.
Big.
You're good at harvesting. I love this. All right, make sure you cut this one because that's a really nice one and we want to make sure we leave room for the small little ladies. Yep, that's good. Okay, I think we've about harvested enough mustards. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, got one more? All right, that is looking good. So we'll be able to harvest from these plants again in a couple days. Can you believe that? All right, Elaine, now we're gonna harvest these spinach plants. So I should have harvested these a long time ago. Can you tell how they're starting to create little,
Yeah.
do you know what this is gonna be?
Flower.
Yes, it's gonna create a flower. It's gonna do that because it wants to reproduce. So inside of flowers, what's inside of flowers, do you know?
Seeds.
Yes, seeds. Gosh, you're so smart. All right, so we are gonna harvest these and we're gonna try to freeze as much of this spinach as we can so that we can make spinach smoothies, because you love spinach smoothies, right? She actually does. We put a lot of banana in there, right? So we're gonna do something funny. Are you ready? You typically wouldn't do this, but we're gonna go down all the way.
And we're gonna cut the bottom.
Yep, we're gonna cut the bottom
Right.
like this, and then we're gonna harvest all the leaves off of the stalk. So now what we're gonna do is take that stalk.
And just cut it.
Yep, you're gonna cut the leaves directly into the bowl. And if you hit a leaf that doesn't look awesome, just skip it and we'll put it in the compost pile.
What is the white stuff on?
So that's just the flowers.
So
See
it's
those
good.
radish flowers? Yeah, it's nothing wrong. In an
Well,
organic garden, girl, you gotta be ready for anything. You might see gross stuff here, but that's what happens in nature, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we're not gonna ever be worried about bugs or weird stuff, because
Except on our lettuce.
except on our list. Did you know one lady at the farmer's market, she told me if you don't see bugs on your lettuce or on your plants, that means they're not good. Because if the bug doesn't want to eat them, then you shouldn't want to eat them. So we always like, when it's this old, you might want to test it. It is getting a little bit chewy, but it's still better than grocery store spinach, and we're going to be freezing this for smoothies. All we have to do is freeze these raw, and then we'll put them in a Ziploc bag. And then anytime we need to make a smoothie, we'll just literally pull out the raw leaves, frozen, blend them up with our frozen bananas and berries, and boom, spinach smoothie right from the garden. Where'd you go? Oh, you're switching tools? Okay, all right. So we'll do a few more of these and then we'll be done with our spinach, at least for today. All right, you're doing great. Almost done. All right, you think this is enough?
Yeah.
We're gonna be able to make spinach and strawberry salad today. That's gonna be good. All right, show them what we got, girl. Yay! Lots of spinach. And then this is gonna go in the compost pile. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, the next thing we're gonna harvest is endive. Have you ever tried endive? I don't know if she's gonna like it. It is it's like this frilly little lettuce, and it's a little bit, you wanna taste it? What do you think?
Weird.
It's pretty weird. It's a different kind of lettuce, but it's really lovely, and you can make a sweet dressing that kind of tames down the peppery flavor. So we're actually gonna harvest this as a full head of lettuce, okay? So what we're gonna do, you can see this plant is a separate plant here. So I'm gonna come in and pull up, you know how I give you, how I put your hair in a ponytail? We're gonna act like we're putting the lettuce in a ponytail, and then we're gonna cut it off. So it's in a ponytail, right? Got a couple of tree seeds in here. Now you're gonna take your pruners and you're gonna cut that whole thing. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm trusting you. Don't cut my tomato behind it, okay? Just this, so go all the way to the base.
How about I hold it and you cut?
Okay. So you could just rip it out of the soil, but we don't like to do that because there's all kinds of good things at the base of that soil. All right, so now let's turn your hand around and show it. Oh, isn't that pretty? So pretty. We took a little beat with it. That's okay. All right, we're gonna skip the next one so it has plenty of space to grow, and we'll go to the next one. What should we get? Maybe should we get 4 of these?
Yeah. This will be the third.
So we're gonna have so much lettuce. Do you think that Brendan's gonna eat this tonight?
No.
No. Do you think anyone but me is gonna eat it?
I'll eat it.
You'll eat it?
Yeah.
All right, grab that like a ponytail.
Well.
And here we go.
More lettuce.
Okay, that's all right. Ready? All right. Is it free? Still attached? Oops. Pull that one up from the roots. There we go.
Ooh.
We got an extra one. This is like Marvel of 4 Seasons. We accidentally pulled that. Here, let go. There we go. All right, more endive. And you can see how, these plants are gonna be able to fill in the blank spaces, which will be really cool. Let's move on. All right, the next thing we're gonna cut is your favorite kind of kale. What kind is it?
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur kale. So we're just gonna come in, we're gonna cut this just the way we do our other greens. So come to the outside, cut the big pieces, and it'll keep growing from the inside. So it looks like we've got some caterpillars already munching on our kale. So that means we need to hurry up and eat it before they do. All right, the last thing we are gonna harvest, there's still so much to do, but we've been doing this video for a long time, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna wrap it up here and we're gonna do some chives. Chives are, I like to say, the easiest thing to grow in the kitchen garden, and we're gonna harvest them very much the way we harvest some of our other greens, like a ponytail, right? So you're gonna take your hand, you're gonna create a ponytail with your chives, and you're gonna literally just cut, cut, cut. Sound good?
That's a lot.
Yeah, I was looking at a method of saving your chives to freeze them to use for like soups and stews in the winter.
Yeah.
So maybe we can harvest enough so that we don't ever have to buy chives from the store again. Here, let's try this out. Let's see what would feel like. What would that look like? I think that's a good look for you. Now you can see all that we could harvest in just one day from just a few beds in the kitchen garden. We have got radishes and chives, loads and loads of spinach. We've got strawberries, sugar snap peas, lettuces, more lettuces and more lettuces and more lettuces. We've got purple mustards, we've got kale, and we've got lemon balm. And we've got a bucket hat. So awesome. So there's so much you can be pulling from your kitchen garden every single week when you plant it intensively. Listen, if you want to learn from me how to set up your own kitchen garden, you should check out the video that's right below this one. I have a link for you to learn the 5 things I've learned from gardening in 5 climates and with over 200 clients. Can you believe I've had that many?
No.
It's crazy. This girl used to ride around with me to all my clients' homes and help me set up gardens. We go way back, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I hope this inspires you on how much you can grow in a very small space. You can tell it's getting hot here, so we gotta get these greens inside and start munching. I guess you've already started. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Until then, thanks for bringing back the kitchen garden with me.